Hello, so today Jules and I are going to present to you the Homo erectus, which is a hominine, and his role in the evolution of the human lineage.
In the first time, we are going to study the temporal situation, before to deal with its geographic extent. After, we will speak about the fossils and bones, and then we are going to explain the anatomical description of this species. Before the end, we deal with their tools and culture and about a scientific controversy, the Totavelsman.
The Homo erectus is appeared 2 millions of years ago and gone there is 100,000 years. He cohabited with Homo heidelbergensis.
He is an evolution of the Australopithecus africanus, who is himself an evolution of Australopithecus afarensis and Australopithecus anamensis.
This species lives principally in two areas. He lived in South Asia and in Africa. He has later colonized the south of Europe. However, we found the big majority of the Homo erectus fossils in South Asia, in Indonesia, and in China.
Now we are going to expose to you the different fossils and bones which were found. There is no interesting fossil found in Africa, but there are 4 fossils which were found in Indonesia, which were founding in order to colonize better the Homo erectus. There is the Java's man, found in an island which has the same name. It's the most complete fossil. The archaeologists discovered a skull cap, teeth and femurs. It's that discovery which allowed imagining roughly how a complete Homo erectus skeleton was. In the region of Solo was found only fragments of skulls and of tibia. In Sangiwan was found a skull which is almost complete. The searchers were very lucky, and in Moyokerto we found the calvarium, that is to say a skull without mandible of a child.
In China were found two fossils composed of pieces of skulls in Beijing and Nankin. At the left, the part in white was aided, and at the right, it's the part in brown that the scientists had to imagine how the complete skull was.
Now we are going to speak about the anatomy of Homo erectus, and certify an evolution from the chimp to the Homo sapiens, that is to say us passing by the Homo erectus.
In first, we can say that physically, the Homo erectus is closer with Homo sapiens than with chimp. In effect, there is only at first sight the hairiness and the facial features that are slightly different.
The cranial capacity is a measure of the volume of the interior of the cranial cavity. It increases from species to species. So the chimp has a cranial capacity of 650 cubic centimeters. This capacity evolved with time, and at the beginning of his existence, Homo erectus had a cranial capacity of 850 cubic centimeters, which increased until reaching a capacity of 1100 cubic centimeters. Today, our cranial capacity is of 1350 centimeters. We can note a Ghanaian evolution of the cranial capacity.
Now we are going to develop about the pronatism of Homo erectus and Homo sapiens. But what is the pronatism? The pronatism is a gap between the lower jaw and the upper jaw. With the evolution, this gap decreases. But so, how measure the pronatism? So we have to define four important points. The point O, the lowest part of the eye socket, the point P, which is the higher part of the ear hole, the point M is the most prominent part of the upper jawbone, and the point N, the meeting of the suture of the nasal bones and the frontal bone. Then we have to draw a line which goes by N and M, and another which goes by P and O. Finally, we have to measure the angle formed by the intersection of the two lines. We can see that the Homo erectus facial angle between 75 and 81 degrees is lower than the Homo sapiens facial angle between 82 and 88 degrees. So there is really an evolution of this part of the skull with time.
The pelvis and thigh bones of Homo erectus are similar to modern humans and shows that this early human was able to walk long distances. That ability was a big advantage during this time period. East Africa environments were fluctuating widely between moist and dry. The long thigh bones of Homo erectus enabled its owner to take long strides and therefore to walk further and faster than early humans.
There is no big difference between the female and the male. Actually, we can say that there are so much differences between a Homo erectus male and a Homo erectus female that between Homo sapiens male and Homo sapiens female.
The Homo erectus was a picker. He was also a hunter, but he hunts mostly little animals and big animals only occasionally. He knows also how to handle the fire, and he is the first species which bake his food. In Africa and in Europe, he used tools realized with rock, but there is no stone in Asia. So we suppose that the Homo erectus living in Asia used tools sized in bamboo, but it's only a supposition. Indeed, we can't confirm that because the wood fossilized in exceptional cases only.
In 1965, in Totavel, in Corbière, in the south of the France, we found 152 fragments of skeleton. They belong to 5 individuals. For the founders team, these remains were a European form of Homo erectus. Besides, they proposed for them the name of Homo erectus totavelensis. However, the actual authors affirm that these fossils belong to the species Homo heidelbergensis. But today, there are always many debates about the European fossil species. In fact, to determine to what species belongs the Totafels man, we compare the almost complete school that was found in Totavel with other schools. Today, the researchers think that is a fossil of Homo heidelbergensis, but the paleoanthropologist Amélie Vialet showed that the Mauer's mandible, which is the model to define Homo heidelbergensis, is less fine than the mandible of Totavel's man.
So now we have finished our presentation. Thank you for your attention and see you soon for new adventures with your two favorite scientists, the two cronies, Jules and Gaylor.
Flintstones, they're the modern Stone Age family. From the town of Bedrock, they're a page right out of history. Let's ride with the family down the street, through the courtesy of its feet. When you're with the Flintstones, have a yabba dabba do time, a dabba do time.